to Rodeo 250.
For 250 years, America has been a nation defined not by comfort, but by courage. A country carved from wilderness by men and women willing to ride into the unknown, chasing freedom beneath open skies. Before, there were highways, there were trails. Before there were cities, there were campfires glowing against the dark. And riding through that darkness came the American cowboy, forged by grit, built by hard work, tested by dust, danger, and determination. The cowboy became more than an occupation. He became a symbol of the American spirit itself. And from that spirit came rodeo, born from the ranches of the Old West, where everyday work became legendary competition, where skill meant survival, and courage was measured in seconds. For generations, rodeo has told the story of America, without ever needing words. The thunder of hoofs, the creak of leather, the roar of the crowd, the heartbeat of freedom echoing through every arena. Because rodeo is not just a sport, it is the living story of America. A story of risk and reward, of victory and defeat, of families passing traditions from one generation to the next beneath the same broken flag. As we celebrate 250 years of American history, we honor the pioneers, the ranchers, the dreamers, and the cowboys who helped shape this nation. And for the next hour, set in the beautiful National Mall, the story will be told 8 seconds at a time. Welcome to Rodeo 250.
Washington, D.C., how we feeling on a Friday? Oh, you bet you are. Well, folks, welcome in to Rodeo 250 and the evolution of the American cowboy. We are so proud to have you here with us for our last and final performance here on a Friday. And can you imagine a better backdrop? The Capitol behind us, Washington Monument standing tall, and right here in the middle of it all, well, it's this beautiful arena at Rodeo 250. And we are so grateful to have you here with us. Now, as far as tonight's performance goes, that's not a full rodeo performance due to our size constraints, but what it is a story. It's a story about cowboys and cowgirls and horses and what it took to get from way back there all the way to 2026 that we know rodeo to be today. It's an outstanding story, and you all have a huge part in it. You see the horses come out, we want to hear you yell. You see something exciting, clap your hands, stomp your feet. And the more energy you bring, the better the show is gonna be. So we welcome you to have a good time with us, and like I said, we are so glad that you are here for generations of our story. But folks, with that in mind, I can tell you, here in this country, we are glad to have the freedoms that we have as Americans. The way we start rodeos and Western events all across the country, from border to border, coast to coast, is with a word of prayer. And so this is going to be no different. We'd ask you, if you're so willing, to please bow your head with me as we go to our Father with a word of invocation. Well, dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we just thank you. We thank you for whatever may be coming. We thank you for the weather. We thank you for the opportunity to bring the cowboy spirit here to Washington, D.C. Lord, as far as tonight goes, I just ask to be within your will. Put a hand of protection over and around this arena for our performers here tonight and for our animal athletes as well. And Father, I'd ask that you put a special eye on the families around this arena that they'd have a great time with us at Rodeo 250, but as they make it back home, make sure they make it home safe. And lastly, Father, I just thank you for allowing me and my family to be born into this beautiful, free country we know as America. Father, we ask you, in your Son's holy and precious name, all of these things. All God's people said, Amen. Amen. We can applaud for that. Folks, I am so grateful that I get to do that at rodeos all across the country, but I don't take it for granted, and I hope you don't either. Because those freedoms that we have, the rights that we have as Americans, well, they are uniquely American. And as we celebrate 250 years of this country, we also celebrate the 56 founding fathers that signed that original dotted line we know as the Declaration of Independence. And to honor them, I know no better way to do it than to welcome a banner that 250 years in the making represents each and every one of us. Doesn't matter if you're young or old, doesn't matter how you voted, doesn't matter where you're from. She is the ultimate symbol of freedom. How about it for Old Lord? As Miss Audra comes to pause, folks, if you've been with us, I hope you've enjoyed the show, but tonight we're going to do something just a little bit different. First and foremost, I'm going to ask you if you're able, and if you'd be so willing, to please stand with me, gentlemen with cover removed and hand over heart, and our veterans at salute. Now what we're going to do next, it's going to be special. See, we're not going to have just somebody sing the national anthem. I'm going to ask all of us to sing the national anthem like a choir. Now I can tell you, I'm not a singer. I'm an announcer from Arkansas, but more importantly, I'm a proud American. And so I'm going to start us off with the first line, and I hope that you will join with me as we sing the greatest song that's ever been written. Please sing along with me, for not mine and not yours, but together our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed, like the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous heart. Oh, thank you, Ms. Audra. Thank you, Washington, D.C. That was beautiful. So I tell you, we're definitely proud of this country, and we're proud of what comes next. It's the story, the evolution of the American cowboy from generation to generation. And folks, I can tell you, every good story, well, it's got to have a great beginning. And this story, well, it doesn't begin with a cowboy. See, the cowboy needed a partner, and in stepped the American horse. Because without the horse, well, there is no cowboy. So that's where our story begins. Washington, D.C., I want to know, are you ready? Yes, you are. And so, our story begins.
Well before cattle drives stretched across the plains, and long before ranches marked the western horizon, and even before rodeo became a sport and the cowboy became an American symbol, there was the horse. Few animals have shaped the story of America more deeply. Our story starts in the 1500s with the Spanish explorers and settlers who brought horses to North America. These animals were more than transportation. They were strength, survival, freedom, and the beginning of a new way of life across the frontier. From Mexico into the vast country that would become the American West, the Spanish horse helped shape ranching, travel, trade, and culture. But the story does not end in the saddle. Because over time, some horses escaped, and from there they multiplied and spread across deserts, valleys, mountains, and open plains. They became the wild Mustang. And those horses, well, those horses changed our landscape forever. Generation after generation, these horses became something uniquely tied to the American West. Their bloodlines spread, and that horse became part of the land itself, running free beneath the vast American sky, a symbol of independence, endurance, and the untamed spirit of the American West.
Ladies and gentlemen, in an age where horsepower is measured by machines, what you're about to witness is something far more powerful. The bond between horse and human was formed, and it's forged not by force, but by trust. Please make welcome Mustang trainer and Western horseman. This is Kevin Graham. Kevin has dedicated himself to earning the trust of these incredible animals. Through patience, respect, and true horsemanship, he shows us that the bond between horse and rider, well, it is one that cannot be broken. It's built by understanding. You'll notice the garrocha pole Kevin carries with him comes from Spain. The vaqueros of Spain would use it to manage cattle herds. The simple tool's now an art form in and of itself, displaying the control the horseman with his animal. And as you see, Kevin, total control as he removes the bridle off the wild Mustang he affectionately calls Showgirl. Watch this. Watch closely. Nothing more than a shift of the weight and a sweep of his arm, a whisper of intent. As a third member of the team approaches, this is Scooby, another wild Mustang, but a part of the herd that Kevin Graham has put together. You see these two horses? One comes to us out of Oregon, the other from Wyoming. One a 13-year-old, the other 6, one a mare, another a gelding, one just a goofball, and the other one an old soul. These two horses could not be any more independent and different from one another, but together they work effortlessly in harmony as one. I think we can learn something from Showgirl and Scooby as they make their way around. See, this is a dance. It's built on hours before the sun rises and long after it sets. A conversation with no words. A partnership with no limits. Scooby in perfect timing and rhythm with Kevin and Showgirl working around effortlessly. In rodeo, we celebrate strength, grit, and courage. But this is something different. This is harmony. This is heart. Together, we celebrate the spirit of the American horse. Now watch this. Scooby stands at perfect attention, waiting on his command. Showgirl eases around and Kevin steps side to side with him. And together, they're going to do something special. Scooby takes a bow for you. His partners, Showgirl and Kevin, take a bow themselves. Folks, how about the horseman, Kevin Graham? Well, the trust they have, it's a bond that cannot be broken. Man and horse, 1 and 1. The great representative of the bond that formed between the American cowboy and his equine partner. As Kevin makes his way around, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for one of the most remarkable partnerships you'll ever see. A living example of what's possible. The man from Georgia, one more time, how about it for Kevin Graham? It was formed, folks, it wasn't long before it found its purpose. See, here in America, we got a southern influence, originally from Spain, then through Mexico. And the cattle drive started out west and began the cowboy's story. Please turn your attention to the big screen to see the next chapter.
Across the South and the wide plains of Texas, the war years left behind thousands of cattle. Tough, wild cattle that roamed the open range. But the markets were far away. Growing cities, mining camps, military posts, and railroad towns need beef. So between those wild herds and a hungry nation, a new chapter of the American West began. The cattle drive. For weeks, sometimes months, men pushed herds across rivers, plains, storms, heat, dust, and danger. It was hard work. Out of that work came one of the most recognizable figures in American history, the cowboy. But the cowboy did not appear out of nowhere. His tools, his methods, and much of his tradition were shaped by the Mexican charro and vaquero, horsemen who had already mastered the art of working cattle from horseback. They gave the West its roping, riding, branding, saddles, reins, bits, spurs, ropes, and chaps. Even the word buckaroo traces back to vaquero. So when we tell the story of the American cowboy, we also honor the charro and vaquero, whose skill, pride, and horsemanship helped shape the West itself.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we continue telling the story of the American cowboy, we cannot tell that story without honoring the deep roots of the Mexican charro and vaquero traditions. Please make welcome to our arena, our charro, Gabriel Hernandez, and his horse fitness. He works that rope, poetry in motion, and long before rodeo became a sport, the charro, he was already a master horseman, skilled in roping, horsemanship, showmanship, and the proud traditions that helped shape the cowboy culture we know today. The story of the American cowboy is not just a story of the open range, it is a story built from many traditions, and one of the strongest comes from the Mexican charro and vaquero. Gabriel steps off his horse. He shows you what he can do with that rope, an extension of his arm. Nice and easy, slow and smooth. The lariat, the saddle, the spurs, the chaps, and many of the techniques used by American cowboys were deeply influenced by this man's ancestors, the charro, the vaquero, and their rope work. It was practical, precise, and beautiful. Built for the ranch, but carried forward into the arena as you see today. He works that lariat rope effortlessly around his body, back and forth, in and out, through and through. When we celebrate the cowboy, we also honor the charro, one of the foundations of Western horsemanship and rodeo tradition. Gabriel, remounting the 6-year-old Bendy. He turns sideways. Due to our conditions today, I don't know what he can do, but he says, I'm pulling out all the stops. Total trust between the equine partner and his vaquero. We watch Gabriel around the back. We're going to see what he can do next. Jumping through, leaving his feet and trusting his partner. Beautiful job and a beautiful part of our story here on a Friday night. Now watch this. I told you he used the rope. He's going to use every inch of it. This is the big loop. He wraps it not just around him. He wraps it around that 6-year-old horse we call Bendy. Ladies and gentlemen, you talk about horsemanship, you talk about showmanship. How about it for Gabriel Hernandez? Well, as the cattle drives grew and the need for beef grew as well, the fascination began with the American West. The folks back east wanted to hear and see more, and the cowboys, they needed some entertainment. So in stepped some entrepreneurs of the Wild West, like Buffalo Bill and the Miller Brothers, and they created what we now know as the first ever Wild West shows. So turn your eyes to the big screen to learn where our story heads next.
Then came a man with an eye for entertainment, Buffalo Bill Cody. His Wild West show took the skills of the frontier: riding, roping, shooting, racing, stagecoach scenes, Native American horsemanship, cavalry drills, and cowboy action, and turned them into a grand spectacle. It was part history, part theater, part athletic exhibition, and part celebration of a frontier that was quickly disappearing. For audiences who had never seen the open range, Buffalo Bill brought the West to life. They saw riders thunder across the arena, expert marksmen and women, cowboys, cowgirls, native riders, scouts, soldiers, horses, wagons, and livestock, all in one sweeping display of Western life. And Buffalo Bill was not alone. The Miller Brothers 101 Ranch Wild West Show, based in Oklahoma, carried that tradition forward with skilled riders, ropers, trick riders, bronc riders, native performers, cowboys, and cowgirls. These Wild West shows became the bridge between ranch work and arena entertainment. They took the real skills of cowboys, vaqueros, native horsemen, scouts, and ranch hands and placed them under the spotlight. From those displays of riding, roping, racing, bronc riding, and Western competition, the roots of modern rodeo entertainment began to grow. What had once been the work of survival became a performance. What had once been tested on the trail was now tested before a crowd. And what had once belonged to the open range found a new home inside the arena.
Folks, tonight as our story moves forward, we celebrate that transformation from cowboy work to cowboy entertainment. We've seen some cowboys who want to see a cowgirl. But we have one of the very best. This is Ginger Duke. What Ginger's going to show you, we call it Roman riding. Began thousands of years ago with the Roman Empire. The Miller Brothers, they thought it'd be pretty good for a Wild West show. 2 horses completely independent and a master horseman working in sync. Nothing but a bridle to hold on to and balance in both feet. Ginger Duke eases those horses around nice and easy. You'll see her feet back and forth, up and down. She's not tied in, she's not Velcroed on. That is pure balance and skill. Yeah, back and forth. Yeah. And you see Captain Graham ease his way out. Folks, these horses are not tied together. Watch that. It's hours of training and work, and she's going to split Cabin one more time. Yeah. Ginger Duke, one of the very best at what she does in the Roman riding game. And what she does next, it could be special. She's going to ask the outside horse to go around the world. Swings it side, left to right. Good job. She makes her way around. She blows you a kiss. How about it for Ginger Duke? But folks, Roman riding was one of many expositions we had there on the Wild West shows. It was a full-on performance, and we are not done with the spectacular to your arena floor. Our cowgirl is 17 years old from the Tar Heel state of North Carolina. These are her horses, the Gray Goose, the Palomino, the Yellow Horse. This is Trigger. And on Rodeo, I can tell you, it's not all about speed. It's not always precision. There's grace, there's harmony. And as we look to Goose, the veteran of our game, he eases down nice and slow. Rui Merritt taking him to the floor. These two horses working together, a part of a stable that Rui has put together. Just 17 years old, she is becoming a master horseman before our very eyes. We get ready for something pretty cool. Get those phones out. You're going to want to see it. Trigger, just like Roy Rogers' horse, well, he's got some tricks up his sleeve. As we ask Trigger to get ready for his next part of the show. Trigger, say hi to him. One more time. Trigger, can you do it again for us, buddy? He says one might be good. No, nothing wrong with that, folks. They are wild animals. They have a mind of their own. And Trigger did an outstanding job. So this is Goose. This is Trigger. This is Rui Merritt. What do you think about the 17-year-old cowgirl? But even that was not enough. So you bought a ticket to the Wild West show. You had the hottest ticket in town. And they brought all kinds of horsemen, all different disciplines to put on those performances. What we have next, well, it may be the most exciting. Please make welcome Olivia Jones, and returning to the arena, it's Ginger Duke. This is what is known as trick riding. Olivia Jones is going to go first on her horse, Red. Olivia, show us the neck over. Heels overhead, her right in the middle. Ginger, this is the fender layout. Complete trust in this partnership. Olivia, the side back bend. Pops back in the saddle. Outstanding. We get ready to do something cool. We're going to get a little air. How about it? Ginger, the 1-foot crane stand. Look, Mom, no hands. Olivia out of the saddle, back into it. This is the vault. If you're looking for a photo op, you're going to like what you see next. Ginger gets set and ready. That 250 flag to fly. This is the Hippodrome. She makes her way around. Olivia Jones a 20-year-old cowgirl from coastal Mississippi. Her partner, Ginger Duke, riding Conway 20, the world champion trick roper. One more time, what do you think about our cowgirls? Outstanding job, cowgirls. We are so proud to have them here with us. So folks, we're cowboys, we're Americans. What do you think happens next? We get a little competitive. We want to know who has the faster horse. We want to know who ropes better, right? We want to know who the better cowboy is and enter a little bit of the competition. Something we know today as rodeo. They look back to the history of rodeo. The first ever, they'll tell you, Deer Trail, Colorado in 1869. But then Pecos, Texas, they said their July 4th rodeo in 1883 was first. Then Pace in Arizona tried to trump them all and just named it the world's oldest rodeo in 1888. Now who the first rodeo is, we may never know, but what came of that was some serious competition. And as the numbers grew, the prize money got more serious and rules got placed, there became a need for an association to put it all together. And that was the birthplace of rodeo. You can look to the big screen to learn more about rodeo's beginnings.
As rodeo grew into one of America's great forms of sports entertainment, the cowboys who made the show possible often had very little control over the sport itself. That began to change in 1936. At the Boston Garden, a group of cowboys stood together in protest over concerns about prize money and entry fees. Their actions led to the formation of the Cowboys Turtle Association, the first organized effort to give rodeo contestants a stronger voice in the sport. The organization marked a turning point for professional rodeo. Cowboys now had representation, a way to advocate for fair treatment, and a growing influence over the future of the events in which they competed. In 1945, the Cowboys Turtle Association became the Rodeo Cowboys Association, better known as the RCA. As rodeo continued to expand across the West and throughout North America, the RCA helped establish standards, improve competition, and create a more unified professional sport. Then in 1975, the organization adopted the name it carries today, the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association, or PRCA. Under the PRCA banner, rodeo entered a new era of growth. Communities across the country embraced the sport, from small-town arenas and county fairgrounds to iconic rodeos throughout the West. In places like Montana, rodeo remained woven into the fabric of everyday life, connecting generations through competition, tradition, and community pride. That foundation helped build the sport's greatest championship event, the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo.
And as rodeo continued to grow, as the money got even bigger, well, a new era dawned, and in 1985, the Wrangler National Finals moved to Las Vegas, Nevada, to be rodeo's biggest stage. For 40 years now, they've called the Thomas and Mack Center home. And now, they give away over $14 million and crown their champions right there at the Thomas and Mack each and every December. We invite you to come hang out with us in Las Vegas the first 2 weeks of December where they crown those champions. But whether we're talking about a small town rodeo in somewhere like Montana or the bright lights of Las Vegas, folks, rodeo has grown immensely. And now, there's 8 events between the PRCA and the WPRA that are sanctioned by the Cowboys. So folks, with that in mind, we're going to take you to one of those events. It is the cornerstone event. And folks, this is where rodeo stops being history and starts happening right in front of you. Please look to the big screen as we tell you about the classic event, Saddle Bronc 101.
Saddle bronc riding requires strength, grace, and precise timing. This is Saddle Bronc Riding 101. Every move the bronc rider makes must be in sync with the movement of the horse. Form and technique are critical to earn a good score. The rider must have both spurs above the horse's shoulders for the first jump out of the chute. It's called a mark-out. If the rider misses his mark and his feet drop, he receives a no score. Holding onto the rein connected to the halter, keep his toes turned outward while moving his spurs from the points of the horse's shoulders back to the saddle. A smooth, rhythmic ride is sure to impress the judges. When done right, it's poetry in motion. And that is Saddle Bronc Riding 101.
Ladies and gentlemen, I told you it's Rodeo's classic event, the true test of timing, balance, style, and grit. And tonight, we have a 37-year-old cowboy from just a state over the Keystone State of Pennsylvania. This is Will Stites. He's getting on the bucking horse that we call the Freedom Fighter, and folks, it is 8 seconds. But he's not alone as we look to the arena floor. His cowboy pickup men from the beaches of Oahu, Hawaii. Please say hello to Judd Napier. Judd's job to keep our cowboys safe and take care of our animal athletes as well. So as Will gets set, all he has to hold on with is a rope we call a bronc rein. It's a loose rope. You better have good balance. 2 feet pedals we call stirrups, and you better get perfect in timing. Now done right, it's poetry in motion, but when things go wrong, it is an ejector seat of the highest order. Will Stites, he's a veteran of the game, one of the very best, and he wants to put a show on for you. Now he's asking that bronc to stand just right because he knows the opportunity he has here on our nation's mall. It's the last performance, and you want to do good for all you people here. So with that in mind, when we open the gate, let's get loud and rowdy. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Go, Will. Go, Will. Washington, D.C., help this man. He's going to ride for 8 seconds. Judd Napier rides in and saves the day. Freedom Fighter has been conquered. Will Stites hands his back number to a lucky fan. What do you think about a Pennsylvania cowboy? Having a little fun. He says we're going to do a third angel. Good job, Will. Proud to see him out there. As we get set and ready, well, we go from the action of the bucket shoot. We go to something with a little more timing, a little more precision. It's our time to end. Folks, turn your eyes to the big screen for the event that we call team roping.
The only true team event in rodeo is team roping. Teamwork makes the dream work. This is Team Roping 101. Here you have a header and a heeler. The fastest time wins, and the steer gets a head start. One cowboy, the header, ropes the horns, and the other cowboy, the heeler, has one job. That's to rope both hind feet of the animal. There are some problems that could lead to penalties. Penalties are additional seconds added to the run if the rules are not followed. It starts with the barrier. If the header leaves before the steer gets a head start and breaks the barrier, that's a 10-second penalty. A mistake of only inches will cost you 10 seconds, and that will cost the team money. The heeler can also get in hot water if he only ropes one hind leg instead of 2. That's a 5-second penalty that could also take you out of the money. Once the header and heeler have done their jobs, the horses face each other and the ropes are tight. That's when the clock stops. More variables than any other event. 5 minds working together with one goal. Be fast, because fast.
So folks, due to our size constraints, we can't have the full team roping, but frankly, I think we got something even better. We got some volunteers to help show us how it's done. Brave volunteers, how about y'all pay them off for us real quick? Hey, Cowgirl Charlotte, it is your turn, and folks,
all right, Charlotte
comes to us from Texas. See if our Texas Cowgirl has for us.
Come on, Charlotte. Wow, look at her go.
Yeah,
go.
job, Charlotte. You're gonna love this. My next man, his name is Joseph. I asked him where he's from. He said, America. Proud American Joseph here to work for us. All right, Joseph, let's do it, buddy. A little different style, that's all right. Whoop it on there. Hey, I like it. Good try, Joseph. A little southern twang. We got Xavier. He comes to us from the beach state of Georgia. Got good fun. Xavier showing out. Good job, cowboy.
Good job.
All right, a little bit closer. It's Amy, and folks, she's from Maryland. Ginger Duke gonna get her set up. All right, Amy, the floor is yours.
There you go. Yeah, you're looking good. Looking good.
Yeah! Good job, Amy. So, folks, our ropers have been outstanding as they line back up. One time, what do you think about our volunteers?
Yeah, Charlotte!
Well, I'm going to tell you this. They are all winners today. Those ropes were donated by Cactus Ropes. They're also going to get a free pair of jeans from our friends at Wrangler, a free cowboy hat from Resistol, and a belt buckle from Montana Silversmith. Congratulations, kids, and great job. So we go from the teamwork that we see in the team roping, we go to some speed, we go to some lovely ladies. Folks, we're going to barrel racing. With that, turn your eyes to the big screen for Barrel Racing 101.
If you have a need for speed, barrel racing is your event. This is Barrel Racing 101. Now here are the rules. The fastest time wins. The horse will run a cloverleaf pattern around 3 barrels, and the key is to leave all 3 barrels standing while going as fast as you and your horse can. Because if you knock down one of the barrels, it's a 5-second penalty. The barrel racer has the option of going to the left or the right from the start. The bottom line, leave all 3 barrels standing as you complete the cloverleaf pattern. The model for success in barrel racing is to go as fast as your horse can go. Straight lines from each barrel are key, and whatever you do, don't lose momentum in the turns, and don't knock over a barrel. Barrel racing is beautiful, fast, furious, and a true display of great horses and great cowgirls. And that is Barrel Racing 101.
Hey, Barrel Racing 101. Thank you to Tractor Supply Company for bringing us our barrels. And folks, one of our performers, Ginger Duke, has volunteered to show us how it's done. So Ginger, go ahead. Here's the thing. Good practice. When she comes around the 3rd barrel, I want you to scream, all right? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. All right, our first cowgirl comes to us from the West Virginia. Folks, this is Haley. We're going to count her down from 3 for her to start, all right? Y'all help me. 3, 2, 1. Let's go, Haley. Little help from Mom. One more, you know what to do. Little cowgirl coming out with a 13-5. Second run, 13-5. And it's got a 10-year-old cowgirl from the volunteer state. This is Betty from Tennessee. Betty, you ready? She says she's ready. We're gonna do it again, all right? From the count of 3. 3, 2, 1. Let's go, Betty. Yeah. One more, you better hustle. 7. Good job, Betty. Well, folks,
William,
our
yeah, Betty.
cowgirls, they're both winners. They're getting that prize pack as well. One time, can you pay off our brave volunteers?
Yeah, Betty. Woo! Okay, William.
There's no other way to put it. It's the most exciting part of our game of rodeo. What I'm talking about next, it is the wildest 8 seconds in sport. And I want to know, here in Washington, D.C., who wants to see a little bull ride? Please turn your eyes to the big screen for Bull Riding 101.
There is no doubt that bull riding is the most dangerous 8 seconds in sports. This is Bull Riding 101. There's 100 points possible. Half the score comes from how well the cowboy rides. The other half comes from the bull's performance once the gate swings open. If you are totally in control, the more you spur, the more you score. The one thing you cannot do is touch the bull with your free hand. If that happens, the clock stops and you get a no score. The bullfighters are the best in the world, and they are there to provide a helping hand if a cowboy finds themselves in trouble. If this looks dangerous, well, that's because it is. That was Bull Riding 101.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have got something very special. He's an up-and-coming superstar of rodeo, and he comes to us out of Maryland. This is the 18-year-old Nick Jackson as he prepares to ride the bull of Preferred Patriot. But folks, it's the most dangerous 8 seconds in sport. Can't do it. Some safety precautions in place. Those safety precautions I'm talking about, they come in a pair of cleats. They are known as the American Bullfighter. Please welcome back to the arena floor, the styling Hawaiian, Judd Napier. His job to keep Nick safe as he can, but folks, I'm gonna ask you to ride with Nick. So stomp your feet, clap your hands to the beat, let's do it. Here we go. Bull makes his way around, Nick in trouble. Judd Napier makes his way in. And Nick Jackson coming down early, but folks, you pay him off. So ladies and gentlemen, don't leave just yet. I'm going to ask you one last time to turn your eyes to that big screen.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we bring this Rodeo 250 experience to a close, we do so with gratitude in our hearts and pride in our country. For 250 years, America's story has been written by people willing to dream big, work hard, stand tall, and press forward through challenge and change. From the first footsteps of a young nation to the open ranges of the American West, that same spirit has carried us here tonight, and few figures represent that spirit quite like the rodeo cowboy. The cowboy reminds us of independence, courage, grit, faith, responsibility, and respect. He represents long days, hard work, helping your neighbor, caring for your animals, honoring your word, and getting back up when life bucks you off. Tonight, inside the American Heartland Arena, we have celebrated more than a sport. We have celebrated peace who we are. As we celebrate 250 years, may we never forget the values that built this country. Freedom, courage, hard work, family, faith, and unity. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being part of Rodeo 250 at the American Heartland Arena. Long live cowboys, the sport of rodeo, and may God bless the United States of America.
Ladies and gentlemen, as our story concludes, I'm going to bring to the arena floor a set of superstars. Now you see them before your eyes. There's an entire cast and crew behind those bucket shoes. Part of our team up there. And I can tell you this, Just 16 days ago, most of us had never even met. But what's been brought together, it's become a family. And I can tell you, each of these men and women, they have sacrificed to be here. Sacrificed time with their families, sacrificed professional opportunities, but they sacrificed it for each of you. See, they're forged together with something strong. 14 states represented, over 20 nationalities, and they are forged together with patriotism. So one time, I'm going to ask you, will you please pay off the cast and crew of Rodeo 250? Ladies and gentlemen, our performance may be over, but our story, it's not just our story, it's all of our story. Because what we believe, a cowboy isn't made by a hat or a rope or a horse. A cowboy is made by what is in here. Toughness, grit, determination, doing what's right when nobody's looking, and leaving things better than you left it. And for that, we believe all of you have a cowboy in each and every one of you. So I would ask you, I would commission you, as you make your way home, take that little piece of cowboy with you. Spread it across our great nation. Spread it across this world, and let's leave this world better for generations to come. Folks, I am proud to leave you with this. God bless you. God bless the American cowboy. And God bless these United States of America.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island.
I always
Gulf Stream wall. This land is me, you and me.
Thank you guys.
As I was walking
Tell me I have their autograph.
What's up, buddy? Thanks for coming, man.
away,
Thank you. You on, guys?
in the sky,
You guys get the hats? Heck yeah, good job.
Wait, Charlotte, you didn't get a hat.